Panther fans, welcome back to the Carolina Panthers Facebook video blog. The game has just ended around like 15-20 minutes ago, so I'm going to go ahead and make my review vid right now. It may be probably already Monday when you're watching, but I figured I'd go ahead and make it while it's still fresh in my mind. First preseason game against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Wanted to just give a nice little rundown of what I saw tonight. And overall, it was pretty good. I'll give it about a B. We didn't win, but it's preseason, so winning doesn't really matter. I'm not concerned about the win or loss, but overall, about a B performance. First, I want to start out with a new segment that I'm going to start doing for all when I review a game. It's going to be called Shane's Superlatives. We're going to start doing that, and that's for I'll name my MVP for offense and defense. And let's go ahead and start in the preseason so we can get it warmed up. For offense, I'm going to say my MVP was Jimmy Clausen. I think he looked great in the pocket. He had a strong performance, looked confident. He made some strong throws. The only thing that I noticed was his throwing motion on his longer throws tended to be a lot longer and wider. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe something to work on going forward. But overall, great performance for his first game. I was pretty thoroughly impressed, and just his limited action. He was very mobile in the pocket too, which is a need. On the defensive side of the ball, I want to go ahead and name Greg Hardy the defensive MVP. He came away with 2 sacks, was always getting pressure, and he's lived up to the hype that I've heard from him in the last couple weeks. And he looked really good at camp, and he looked great in this game. I think he really could be, our replacement for Julius Peppers right now as a rush in. He looked better than Everett Brown, but Everett Brown also, didn't have as much action, so we'll kind of see more of that going forward. But Greg Hardy just looked excellent tonight, and from there, let's go on and just kind of do a position-by-position breakdown of what I saw. First, with the quarterbacks, Matt Moore come out first. He didn't have a lot of time to show very much, but he looked okay. He had good spin on his ball and everything, but that one play where he got sacked, he didn't recognize the pressure coming and stuff like that. Those are some of the little things that he's got to start doing if he's going to be our starter. I think he's still number one right now. I don't think there's a quarterback controversy or anything between him and Clausen. But I think he's got to just improve on some of the little things and just kind of be more aware in the pocket. We'll see more going forward. In next week's game, he'll probably play the whole half with the starters, and we'll get a little better idea. But, I'll give him a pass being it's the first game out. Like I already talked about Clausen being an MVP for offensive side, and Hunter Cantwell. I think it's clear after this game, like after seeing camp and after reading a lot of the reports, I thought Hunter Cantwell was going to possibly be the number 2 guy this year for at least a while. But after this game, I'm going to go ahead and say he's probably going to be strictly number 3. It looked a little bit shaky at times. Didn't really have good mobility, things like that. Didn't really show me a whole lot tonight like I was expecting. Still has a cannon of an arm. He's got a powerful arm, but that can only get you so far. And finally, Tony Pike. He only got to see him on one series, but that one series wasn't really a lot to look at him for. So I'll wait and put off evaluations of him until next week. But as of right now, from what I've been reading, he's clearly the number 4 quarterback. So he's probably practice squad material at this point. But we'll just wait and see. Moving on to the wide receivers, Brandon LaFell. I was expecting to see a little more from him in this game. He's a rookie, first time out. But there was the one pass, the fade route in the end zone from Clausen, that he has to come up with that. He's shown really good hands, and he was there for the ball. He has to catch those. That's just very, very important. And that was kind of disappointing to see him drop that. But he did get a nice run on the end around that I saw, and a little bit more action, but he wasn't out there very long. But he started out as the number 2 guy, so that's probably a preview of what we're going to see going forward. And from there, Dwayne Jarrett got a little bit of action. He had a couple nice catches early on, but still, I'm not really very confident in him making the team this year. I'm still saying he's going to get cut, most likely, unless just something clicks on here in the next couple weeks and I see something phenomenal. It's not looking too good for him. From there, Amani Edwards, my man, App State, he looked pretty good. I'm going to give him a solid B, given that this is his first performance, in an NFL stadium, pretty much, and the first time he's ever been catching punts in the game, and he didn't muff any or anything like that. He caught them all, did fine, even had a nice little return on one. But what I was more impressed with Armani was when he was playing wide receiver. His routes looked pretty good. He had good hands. He caught most of the things that was thrown at him. And if you watch the entire game, they were throwing a lot at him. He was out there a lot in the second half, which I was really surprised to see. But I'm confident that he'll continue to improve week to week. He's great at taking instruction, so I'm sure he'll watch game film from this week, and he'll probably look 10 times better against the Jets next Saturday. From there, also I'll talk about the other App State guy, Dexter Jackson. He looked pretty decent after one play where he had slipped on a route and caused an interception. That was really bad and unfortunate, but after that, he made a lot of good catches late in the game as we went through, and he's got a long shot at making the roster. But if he keeps it up like that, hopefully they'll give him a few more reps in the following preseason games. And you never know, maybe he'll jump up there and take a spot, or at least hang around the practice squad, because he's got a lot of speed, and I think he was showing better hands tonight than he has in the past. From there, let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. And also, wait, before I continue, I thought Fiametta, our new fullback, had a pretty decent game. He showed some good hands out of the backfield, which is something that Hoover did sometimes, but he looked like he was a little bit better coming out of the backfield for an option. But from there, let's move on to the defensive side of the ball. I mentioned Greg Hardy already. He's defensive MVP. Got great pressure. Very impressed. I want to see a lot more of him coming forward. I think that he could end up being a primary backup this season, which would be a steal and be very impressive for a 6th-round pick. Then you got Tyler Brayton, who came out and had 2 sacks with the first team, he looked very impressive. But he went down with an ankle injury after someone else, I forgot who it was, someone else fell on his ankle after he made a sack, and he had to leave the game. But what I've heard so far is that it's something very minor. He's probably going to be back in next week, I would hope. It's probably just it's just rolled it, and it's just uncomfortable. But I think most of him not coming back into the game was just precautionary. So hopefully we'll see him more coming forward, because he looked like he was in a mid-season form tonight. Just overall, the overall look of the line and the linebackers and the way we were performing looked great. Getting a lot of pressure throughout the game. I was very impressed with the pressure we were getting. And I kind of thought that we would coming in, because the practices have been really intense. All these young guys are creating such an energy about the defense, and it was really good to see. And I think going forward we're going to be fine with getting pressure. My only concern so far has been the secondary. There at the beginning we got kind of torched through the secondary, especially in that first drive from Baltimore. Flacco just carved us up. So we got to shore that up. Sherrod Martin, didn't really see a lot out of him in this game. He didn't look like he was all there. Starting in Chris Harris's spot at strong safety. But we got to see a lot more from these guys. I know Gamble wasn't playing as well, but hopefully they'll get that shored up. But I was impressed by Baltimore's new receiving core. They've got some big names out there, and they're looking like they're going to be strong in the receiving core this year, which is it's going to be hard to beat them in the AFC, I think. Finally, the special teams. I would say the kick coverage didn't look very good tonight. That's been a problem for several years, it seems like, and that's something we've got to correct. And part of that may be, having so many new guys in there. It's going to take time to adjust and get them going. but it looked pretty bad tonight at times. Later on in the game, it looked more decent every now and then, but yeah, I got to see more. And other side of the ball, special teams return game. I talked about Armani. They're giving him every opportunity to get back there and get used to fielding kicks and punts. And it looks like that they really want him to be the starter. And unless he really messes up, hopefully he will win that spot and get it down. So, pretty much that'll do it for tonight. And I'm gonna get off here and get something to eat. I've been snacking on chips and game food all game, so I haven't eaten dinner yet. So get a little something, and we'll see you later on next week. I'll have a preview out sometime middle of next week, I hope, for the New York Jets game. That'll be in Charlotte. Hopefully some of y'all can make it out to it. I already have tickets in hand for the Tennessee Titans game, the third week preseason game. I'll be at that one. But from there, we're just going to sign off right now, and hope you all enjoyed the game tonight. I really enjoyed it. Getting back into some Panthers football couldn't be better. So we'll talk to you later. Go Panthers.